Hey guys, welcome to another ATOG City Limits. This is a legacy matchup between Grixis Delver and Four Color Loam.
Yeah, Four Color Loam, Aggro Loam, whatever you want to. I think Aggro Loam was like the OG name for it, and then it became Four Color Loam, and then SCG insists on calling it Punishing Abzan for some reason, which I think actually confuses it with another deck that is different that I don't understand because it's bad and fair.
It's like the ultimate play on Wizards by because it's like running Chalice. It's like your opponent's like, oh, this is just a value deck, and then they get chaliced. It's the most heinous reversal of fates in the world. It's like, ha, Wizards. Now it's not descriptive.
It is a deck that, like, I don't fully, understand what's going on. It's just like a bunch of rando stuff that doesn't feel like it goes together, but the sum of the parts kind of is a thing.
Yeah, it's like good stuff smashed with like hateful stuff.
It's like good hateful shit, but it's not blue. And so that's I think
it's admirable.
Yeah. Well, and I guess when you're not blue, you can play Chalice because you're not trying to brainstorm.
It's kind of like next gen Maverick.
It does feel like, I don't know if I would call it an improvement on Maverick. Oh geez, they pushed that out of the frame.
It's close. We still. All right. So looks like we got a basic forest, punishing fire. God,
I recognize a Badlands.
In
that hand.
Oh, that looks like a Gaia's Cradle and Maze of Ith. So he's got like the lands package.
So how do you feel about this matchup? I mean, Chalice is obviously great.
What's that card? Oh, he's got Toxic Deluge and Chalice. All right.
Feels good, man.
Yeah. So he basically
So
I really like the Four Color Loam player because punishing fire doesn't care about counters. You got the Chalice to lock them out of the game pretty much completely, with some exceptions, and then stuff like Maze of Ith just buys you tons of time.
Yeah.
It's just got like a lot of tools. Abrupt Decay doesn't care about counters.
Yeah, I think what's cool is its answers are varied enough to address all of the
cycling lands.
Like, its answers are varied enough to address the really varied threats that Grixis Delver presents.
True enough. Yeah, they're very good at killing creatures, managing the board.
Yeah, I mean, punishing fire is the dream, right?
Caracas, even? Man. So I guess he didn't have a Cradle.
List, does he play is there stage depth in this, or is that just Maverick? Like the Maverick list we saw earlier?
That's just going to be Maverick. This guy's just playing some good old value stuff. He doesn't want a combo.
Okay, well, so how do you feel? So Grixis Delver today is currently 0-3 in this stream, where we're trying to just
may potentially be due to operator failure.
Yeah, is anyone? So I think Mike is actually someone that's put energy into figuring out how to play Grixis Delver.
Yeah, but actually his main deck has been Aggro Loam for like the past 4 years, and he's just been switching over to Grixis for the past 2 months. So he's in his element right now, and he's probably going to completely smash face.
Yeah, we're probably going to see Aggro Loam fire on, all cylinders here.
So we're probably going to see a Chalice for one, dodging the potential for days here, playing around days.
That is smart. I probably should have done better with that with Painter. Just it just feels so good jamming the Blood Moon.
Yeah,
you gotta make him have it.
Yeah. See, this is smart. I wouldn't have done that. I probably just would have played it immediately and got blown out. But this is pretty smart because now he's saying, "Do you have force? If not, lose." Here goes. Chalice for one.
Dang it.
Force for 1 point of life. Oh, pitching the days.
Woo.
You had it all.
Gotta feel good about it. Well, and at this point, he's got enough mana that days is pretty dead.
Yeah, no. And clear that the opponent is playing around the days, too, so.
Yeah. So that seems fun to pitch it there. Like, you're gonna get more value out of this probe.
Yes. Just check their hand again, see what's going on.
Yeah.
They're going to hide it from us. Right. We do know he has a Wasteland.
Yeah.
probably not going to be super consequential in this game. Looks like the Delver player is pretty set up on their lands. Haruruya.
There's a problem with those sleeves, right? Recently, where they like had to recall a bunch of them.
Yeah, yeah, they're potentially marked. So
what like? What?
Just a defect, I think. The way that they were printed off. I don't know whether if it was like some were just printed crooked or what. You know what I've always wondered is Haruruya like kind of like a racist way of saying hallelujah?
I actually don't know what the etymology of the name is.
Are we like subtly making fun of Asian culture by saying Haruruya? Like,
well, the store's in Japan.
I mean, do they know? Are they trying to say hallelujah?
I feel like in the age of the internet, they would have to know, right? Like,
yeah, one would think. Flub ups do happen. All right, so we got Loam in Aggro Loam player's graveyard. Looks pretty good to me. I don't think the Grixis player interacts with the grave or game one.
No, I don't think so.
Short of Death Ray.
That is fair. Except for that one card that everyone's talking about.
Except for like the one of 3 pillars of the deck. So, all right. But unfortunately, he doesn't have access to that right now. It looks like he's just got access to lands and counters, which not good against the Loam. We'll see if he... Oh, Wasteland. Wasteland to the blue-black duel. Pretty aggressive wasting. What do you think that's all about? What is he afraid of from red? I'd rather turn off white. You know what I mean? Oh, he's got a fetch. Doesn't matter. He's not turning anything off. Yeah. Right. Death Right. Fantastic card. Question: do you dredge? Do you want that dredge life? Yes, you do.
Yeah, I think so.
Here,
especially before the Death Right's like fully active. I think you get like one turn where you really don't have to deal with it.
How do you cast Loam?
He's got access to 3 or 4 mana this turn.
He's got 3, 4 mana.
I feel
Unless
like
he plays land.
I don't know. I don't know how to play this deck really, but it feels pretty good if you could Punishing Fire that guy. Does he still have the Punishing Fire in his hand?
Did he have it in the opener?
He had it earlier. I don't know if it got discarded. It doesn't look like that's in the graveyard. So
I think you just rip that off right now.
Yeah, I feel like you just don't. Okay, so
no, you grab the red land, then you crack fetch, then you rip it off.
Yeah,
he's having his cake and he's eating it too right now.
Yeah, this seems ideal. So, and then you just drop the
just a little bit of confirmation on the lands here.
Yeah. So he is playing the red source. So I think we're gonna kill the bird.
Yeah, bolt the bird. Bolt this skeleton creepy bird guy.
Yeah. Can you see the life totals at all? Boom. All right, dude. We know how to play Aggro Loam. We called that whole turn.
Shoot. Did that just get dazed? Oh, no! He doesn't care, but he does care.
Son of a bitch!
It's like he doesn't care, but he does care. It's so bad good.
No, now he's gonna eat it or something?
No, he's getting loams.
Okay, alright, fair enough.
That's definitely the more impactful card. I'm gonna go. Yeah, tell him that. Hey, do you guys move the life pad down a little bit? Oh, yes.
We're fixing the life totals. Life totals are fixed.
All right. We're back into it.
Technical difficulties with our analog setup.
But now it's back and beautiful. All right, here we go. Loam, back in action. Here we go. Ripping exactly what he needed.
Yeah, that seems like it's going to enable some stuff here.
All right, burn willows, grab the fire, blast the fire into your opponent's face. Don't wait, just do it now. Pull the trigger.
Into his face or at the death?
Into the Death Red's face.
That's fair.
There we go.
Boom.
Blasted.
All right. A win for all of us in Legacy.
Blasted you.
Except those of you who play Death Red Shaman.
Aaron, ever present of our camera setup. What a hero. Here comes Ponder. It kind of feels like Delver's just spinning wheels here.
It doesn't seem like they have a lot going on right now.
They're getting managed pretty well.
Yeah.
What he wants to rip is a Delve card. He wants a Gurmag Angler.
That seems like a good spot for one. And so Maze of Ith seems like probably the go-to option to just blank a big creature here.
There we go. Here's the Angler, and I think Maze of Ith has been sitting in the aggro player's hand for like this entire game, for just this moment. It's
probably,
like,
yeah.
Play the Angler, get wrecked.
So my question is, what do they do about True Name?
I think they just die to True Name.
You just die. Yeah.
Or no, they got Toxic Deluge.
He's got one in his hand. Wow.
So he's set up for everything.
What a time to be alive.
He is prepared for every eventuality. He's like Batman right now. He's got contingency.
Aggro player plus time to plan equals invincible.
Yeah, he's basically prepared for every contingency that any enemy he is.
Except for Belcher. Got nothing on me.
Well, he's got Chalice with Soul. Does he play Soul Lands? No, he plays Mana Rock. Yeah.
So Belcher loses one game, gets the play in the next game, belches.
Yeah, and from this point, he's just gonna point you.
Yeah, he's just gonna
turn.
So now I guess we have to figure out how.
It's like a bunch of lands for the lands.
Yeah.
Plan.
So
3 wastes.
Is that a ton of wastelands? I'm surprised he's not. Well, I guess he just needs to lock down this threat and then just start machine gunning the land.
Yeah, that's what I would do. I'm going wasting.
Yeah. So, if you're the Aggro player at all, are you just not even worried about the Grixis wastelands coming and getting your?
I don't give two shits about their stuff because I can just go get my junk back.
Yeah.
Aaron, sporting, competitive, spiky as ever, checks to see if his opponent knows what his Maze of Ith does. Turns out he does. All right. Fresh rip, Aggro Loam, what you got? What was that card he ripped? Hard to see, hard to tell. I think I'm on the Wasteland plan.
Wasteland plan's hard to argue with.
Flick the cards around, make sure he knows what he's doing. It's hard to think, like, what does the Delver player do in this scenario? Like, what do they? I think they just want another death right. Well, because it just dies to the punishing fire.
I mean, I guess you probably want. Well, so the True Name he's got the answer for. So I think this game is. This is the thing about like these kinds of games of Magic is like it's over.
It's pretty much over.
But there's no pressure on Aaron whatsoever. Like, his life total is consistently.
What are you talking about? He's got the exact same kind of pressure that Shortcake puts on the opponent.
But that's the cool thing about Shortcake is there's no pressure. You're just like locked.
Yeah, but you're describing the exact same scenario two different ways.
I guess what I'm saying is that like it's one of those games that is over, but you can't tell that sitting.
Yeah. Well,
there's some hope that you might break out because I think that Aaron has every reason to believe. Well, he knows about the Toxic Deluge, right? Okay, so he doesn't have any reason to expect that his True Name will get there.
But
so it's just
Aaron just busted out. He flexed and busted out because he just wasted the maze, which was clutch. Now, exactly the only thing that the Aggro Loam player wants is a Loam, just to get that Ith back and just put him back under the chokehold.
Yeah, and he's currently at 11, so he's got 3 turns to do it.
He's got 3 turns. He's got 2 more rips.
And
is that Bob? Did you just rip Bob?
I think they do play that.
You know what he could do is just Toxic Deluge here for 5. Just say enough with it. Because I'm going to get dinged for 5.
You're going to get dinged for 5 anyway. Yeah, you might as well. I think. I don't know.
I
I also think that the Lava Man and Shortcake is a stalling tactic. Okay? Like, let's not...
I think I Deluge here, and then I play Bob. It's a little risky, but...
Is the life loss is part of that, part of the cost? Like, if that gets countered, are you still out the life? Or is that only...
I don't think so. I think it's... he's just gonna block with Bob here.
That's a plan. I mean...
Yeah, Bob's just...
Well, and you have to probably be worried about if a True Name resolves and becomes, like, unblockable, you know? Because there's still some chance he hits a Loam and gets his Mazabeth back.
Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe the firing off the Deluge is a little bit too greedy. Just wanting to get that sweet value off of Bob.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if you find your Loam, you're back into it, baby. Oh, Aaron's having none of it. Cracking. That's interesting. That puts him down to a 2-turn clock. He must have some type of interaction right now. Oh, he does. That's good interaction. 1 damage is better than 5. So, still the 3-turn clock, down to 2 now. Waiting for his opponent to cut his deck.
I think his opponent's also shuffling his deck around. There we go.
Okay. It's not like Aaron's an asshole. He's just busy.
Yeah, he's got stuff going on.
Yeah.
He's an important adult with a lot to do.
He's not texting back because he's out with friends right now.
Okay, so now he can just deluge for all of it and solve all of his problems.
Yeah,
right?
Now is the time to do it. Now is the time. The future is now. He's going to rip a card and then he's going to rip a deluge, and it's going to feel real good. A 2-for-1 value. God, Deluge. Can I just say Deluge is like such a great card? A sweeper for 3 mana is so good.
I'm gonna go ahead and recognize objectively what you're saying, but I think that like my Belcher Goblins have been on the losing end of that enough that I fucking hate that card.
You gotta hate that card because it's so good. Because
no, it is. Yeah, objectively, it's great. I just think it's everything that's wrong with Magic today.
No, it's everything that's right with Magic today. Like, it's better, it's on the same, it's not on the same level as, well, it is on the same level as Terminus post-top banning, because,
I think it's fair. I mean, like, you pay the life, I think that's legit.
Yeah, you pay life. Importantly, it's not just, like, destroy everything, or destroy, like, converted mana cost X or less. It's, like, the minus is relevant. Here we go.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's different enough. So I'm curious to see how much he does it for here, because he could just...
It's gotta be 5.
I mean, that wouldn't... I mean, nothing but 5 would make a ton of sense to me here.
Yeah, it's gotta be 5. Otherwise, he continues
to
getting his ass
by an angler.
Getting his ass beat.
He did it for 1. Look at that.
Wow, I can't believe that. What has he got it for the angler? He's got to have something now.
Yeah.
That is a show of power. A show of confidence.
Ultimate power.
Ultimate power. He is the Sith Lord. Here to beat down the Delver. The Delver Jedi? Are we really going to paint Delver as the good guys here?
I think if you look at the Jedi, they were pretty sanctimonious and they were pretty, insular and all that stuff. Like, I think there's real problems with the Jedi. Oh.
Okay, that would have been a good answer to Garmag had it resolved.
Was that an edict?
He was playing a Knight of the Reliquary, which would have been big enough to block the shit out of an angler.
And then it got forced. Okay, that sucks.
All
right, so he's got 1 turn to dig out of this.
I think you play Knight, and then I think you sweep with the Toxic Deluge.
Yeah.
That way, like, if your Knight gets countered, you can Toxic Deluge.
Yeah, you can. Right. That makes sense.
But hindsight's 20/20.
Maybe his plan is to amass enough mana to triple Punishing Fire the angler and kill it.
How much mana do you need? 9?
That's not a whole lot of mana. I don't think he has it.
Yeah, I think you need 9 mana to do that.
You just gotta believe. That's what you gotta do.
Well, you need to no, you still need 9 for Deluge plus Fire plus Fire. has he got in his hand? He's marshalling his lands like he has got it. He's not conceding. Even though he's dead on board? No, he's conceding. Alright. On to the ace match. Or ace round.
Is that like a tennis?
Wait, was that game 1?
That was game 1.
That was game 1, never mind. Holy shit.
Well, I mean, if Grixis wins, that could be the...
Alright, 4-color Loam. Here we go. Sideboard includes Collective Brutality, Rex Sage, 2 Swords to Plowshares, 1 Deluge, 2 Thalia Guardian of Thraben, 2 Thoughtseize, 3 Leyline of the Void, 1 Golgari Charm, 1 Garrick Relentless, and 1 Ghost Quarter.
Huh.
What are we bringing in here, man? I like Collective Brutality.
Yeah, Collective Brutality is just a great card.
2 Swords, fantastic.
Yeah.
1 Deluge, fantastic.
I think the second Deluge is like a really big deal, especially since we know we're playing True Name.
I like Golgari Charm a lot.
Yeah, Golgari Charm for the same reason. Yeah, it's good. I mean, Golgari Charm's great against the Pyromancer tokens if they show up.
What do you think about Thoughtseize?
I don't know. I think Thoughtseize is probably more there for like a combo matchup.
That's interesting because so they're playing Force and Daze, and you're playing lock pieces.
Right.
Do you keep the lock? You keep the lock pieces in.
Yeah. So I think the lock pieces are so good.
Yeah.
You know, I think the
because Tournament Chalice is just a sleeper hold right there, right?
It's pretty much over, I think. Now, granted, they have the ability to just like throw stuff into their graveyard and then power an Angler out. Like there's a top end that Delver used to not have.
Yeah, Angler, and the Pyromancer actually too.
Pyromancer. So like a lot of their threats aren't 1-drops, but all their you cut off perhaps their biggest ability, which is to just cantrip into whatever they want.
Yeah, that's true.
So. I mean, I think that is still, like, even though it doesn't shut off all of their threats, I think that is plenty good enough. The question...
it doesn't look like... It looks like our aggro Loam player is actually pulling out the chalices.
And it could be that those are just...
Just too slow, clunky, they're going to get forced or dazed.
Yeah, they're just going to get...
It might just be that he's expecting his opponent to keep in the counter stuff and kind of just hamstring him on the loss of value there. Because if you're casting Force, it's like a 2-for-1 against a really good value deck. You know, it's not really where you want to be.
Yeah, and Mike is someone who's played this a lot and has a level of insight into Aggro Loam that I will never have or never attempt to have.
Yeah, same here. All right, so from the Grixis Delver side, we've got 2 Cabal Therapy, 2 Surgical Extraction, 2 Pyroblast, 2 Price of Progress, 1 Submerge, 1 Flusterstorm, 1 Collective Brutality, 1 Diabolic Edict, 1 Ancient Grudge, 1 Grim Lavamancer, 1 Kolagon's Command.
So I think Surgical is not bad. You know, obviously.
Surgical is definitely good.
Yeah,
it's got to come in.
We saw the power of Loam, of... Punishing Fire.
Yeah, he's got a lot of 4-ups.
Surgicalable
like
kind of things.
Even just surgicaling Knight of Reliquary.
Yeah, I mean, just any of it.
Although I think you do hold on to it for the graveyard stuff.
Yeah. I think K-Command, again, not bad if you... Because he has to assume that he's going to run into lock pieces.
Yeah, K-Command's fantastic, so I think that's a clutch card right there.
I think...
Lavamancer, maybe?
I don't know really what plane he's on. Lavamancer's not bad.
You blow up a Bob.
Yeah, you can kill Bob. I mean, and it's some pressure. It's like a Death Right. It's like a red Death Right.
I don't know. Maybe I leave that one home.
Yeah, it doesn't seem great here. I think Price is not... I mean, again, they're playing so many non-basics that...
Yeah, potentially.
Price of Progress is... It gives you just that little bit of reach if you can get that damage. Because, again, like a big Price of Progress at the end of that game with no counter magic or anything, would have been game over.
Yeah. What do you think about Cabal Therapy?
Out of Grixis?
Yeah.
I think it's not great here. I think a lot of their stuff is...
just getting played proactively. Because I don't want to, sit on anything, so...
Well, and to get the full value out of it, you've got to sacrifice a creature, which is great once you have Pyromancer out. But I feel like Aggro Loam is going to have some really impactful early plays. So I don't know. I mean, I like therapy a lot as a Storm enthusiast, but
yeah, me too. I just like it as a control card, just like the old adage of name the card you're most afraid of. Like if I'm turn 1 naming Chalice against the deck, like I'm not too.
Mind Break Trap probably isn't a thing he needs to worry about here.
All right, and we're off. Aggro Loam gets the nuts, the little acceleration turn 1. Can he play something? He's cracking. It looks like he's going to put something down. Does he have a Chalice?
Yeah, it looks like he was born into that. He may have performed the Belcher maneuver.
Board him out, board him in?
Yeah, just like make 2 piles, take the pile from your deck, put it back in the deck.
Just do some shenanigans with your, just a little bit of showmanship to get in your opponent's mind.
Yeah, you just have to kind of convince them that you can attack from some other angle.
Yeah, just convince them. It's like, I'm doing something fucky here, kid. Pay attention.
Yeah. Well, and there it is. There it is. Didn't afford it out.
And no force.
What do you think about that 7th? Is that a 7th edition force? I recognize that art. I don't know if it's 7th, but
some old border stuff. Yeah. I think it's fine. I don't really pay too much attention to card arts like most. Except for the old swamps. Old swamps look like shit.
We were just talking about that with the beta or whatever.
Old forest. Beta forest. Yeah.
That Aaron had. What is that?
Looks like a bob. He just Chalice and a bob is kind of exactly how the Aggro Loam player drew it up. Using the old rubber band tech to make sure he doesn't miss on a draw. 2 points for a punishing fire is a steal against an empty board. But he doesn't have the Grove of the Burn Willows to turn that puppy on.
Yeah, but he's seeing 2 cards a turn. I mean, you gotta like your chances of hitting one of the probably 4 of here.
One of his lands is a wasteland, so he's keeping his opponent on fetches only. And it's like Aaron's got some action. He's willing to offer up a Volk on the altar
to be sacrificed
for the sake of something.
So what is he gonna? So he's got to get a second something, right? Because of the Chalice, like he's got to pay 2 mana for something.
He's gotta. Unless he's gonna run a death right into.
Maybe he just needs to start getting.
Yep.
Now the question is: was that a calculated move to fill up a graveyard, or was that just?
Aaron's a pretty swarthy player. He's just souping up a Gurmag Angler right now.
Yeah.
That's his only play right now.
It's possible that
and that waste played right into his trap.
That he's distracted by Journey and forgot about the Chalice, but
it's possible. But
okay, there's the second Chalice. That is
rough.
That is the Boa Constrictor tightening its grip. That's not good. Another on 1. Okay.
I think I like that because
he's got the Abrade.
He's got Abrade and
this
Colagons
is actually Mike's build of Grixis, right?
Yeah. So Mike knows what he's doing here. It's a little cheap, but we're gonna let him fly with that.
Well, a lot of us were in here commentating and knew the deck was by the time we played it. So.
Ancient Grudge is
that's
probably the best rip for Aaron. That's what he needs right now. He needs that Ancient Grudge, and he needs it last turn so he can just blow. Or no, he needs it this turn. If he could just Ancient Grudge this turn would be. What is he cracking?
If he gets a drop here, he may just have it.
Is he gonna? Are we gonna see this happen?
Nope.
No.
Nope. Maybe, but
no. He's just getting ready to delve right now. He needs to get that Angler online. Pressure this Bob so his opponent just doesn't continue with the most degenerate, greedy lines. Yep, that's all part of the plan. So now he gets a Gurmag Angler.
Boom. And those Chalices can do just about jack shit about it. Yep. He needs an Ensnaring Bridge.
They can pretty much just stare into the board. Ooh, interesting. Cabal Pit.
Alright, so explain Cabal Pit to me. I know you play it.
That one is a threshold land. Okay. It can tap for 1 black and you lose 1 life.
Okay.
Or you can pay 1 black and tap it to sacrifice it and give a target creature -2/-2.
Interesting.
So he can shrink the angler, but the bob's not big enough to do anything. What he can do is, once he fills up his grave for threshold, crack Verdant, get an Arbor, shrink the... Well, that's exactly what he wanted to see. He can shrink the angler, block with Bob, block with Arbor. So that would be a lot of resources. Or he can just go and get a Knight of the Reliquary off his Bob and put that down as a beefy blocker. Because that represents a 6/6 at this point with the crack off the fetch. So basically,
I've not seen a Knight of the Reliquary cast in the wild in a long time.
Man, not even today, right? I think it's first of the day.
He tried one last game.
Will this get...
We saw one cast. We did not see one resolve.
Yeah. The big question is, what is in Aaron's hand? Will he counter this? Can he counter this?
Yeah.
My hunch is no. That's double crack. So this...
Double crack's got to be something.
Would be a 7/7 for 3. With some relevant abilities. That's a good card.
Yeah.
Although I will say, it's just a big dumb creature in Legacy. Like, I think this deck really gets most of its mileage off of the chalices. Like,
well, I mean, it can tutor for lands, right?
Yeah, it can tutor for lands. I think I guess what I'm trying to say is, this deck is just Maverick if it doesn't
have the lock pieces.
Yeah, have all of the hateful stuff that's playing around with, you know.
Right.
And there's a reason why Maverick isn't played too much.
So some portion of his board is completely off the screen right now, so it's a little difficult to follow what's going on.
I think it's just Knights.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, they are aware.
Knights and lands.
Yep. And it looks like the Knight can, and with the Cabal Pit, so we're seeing a pretty controlled board state here.
Yeah.
A price of...
Oh my god!
I freaking told you! I freaking told you!
Wow. How many basics does he have now? It's at least 6 damage.
Yeah, I mean,
it's going to be enough.
That ain't nothing. So the question is, can he wasteland himself?
Is that game, brah? Why is he untapping?
Seems like, I think he's, okay, he's just kind of shifting his lands around the way lands players do that makes everything confusing.
Maybe he's going to sacrifice a Cabal Pit in response. He doesn't have Threshold. So...
Spaghetti-O.
This is the, like, scuttle the ship, play something before I die, kill myself thing. Yeah. What is happening?
Is he going... I mean, I guess he could... If he could swords his own Knight, he could survive, but then probably get attacked to death by the Angler.
But they get countered by the...
Oh, jeez.
This is just death. Yeah, he's just dying right now on screen.
Yeah, he's just rolling around. He's
like
telling Aragorn that he's his captain and his king and all that. And
so Price of Progress came in.
You doubted me. This happened the last time I commented. Everyone was like, I don't know about Price of Progress.
It's good tech, I guess. And I think that's the match for Delver.
Yeah.
Delver takes it finally.
And they bumped the camera.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's fitting.
This is our last one, but uncool, guys.
Looks like he just
boarded in everything.
Yeah, everything in the kitchen sink. Looks like he's got the Submerge, which I was surprised.
I guess that's helpful. That's bounce a creature.
Bounce a creature for free if your opponent's got a forest.
So that's good for a Knight.
Which seems crazy to me. It's like, are you running that much counter magic?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, maybe it's just like so for sure that he's going to have a forest to get it for free that it's just...
It pairs well with the Edict. Just bounce a dinky bastard and then Edict the real guy.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll show us what he sided in. I'm curious what the...
Yeah, the Loam. So I don't understand this deck at all, but...
Yeah. I don't understand either of these decks.
So what was your... Okay, so you played Grixis Delver. What was your experience with that like? We kind of got caught up like discussing We didn't provide any commentary on that match because we were discussing just like Grixis Delver in the context of the overall meta.
It's tough. Just real quick, it looks like he cited out the dazes and the spell pierce. Is
that 2 probes?
No. Yeah, 2 probes.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I'd do that way. Yeah, Delver it's kind of tough, man. Like I messed up some brainstorm plays.
Yeah.
Where it's like you daze floating blue before you bounce your island. Casting a brainstorm off that doesn't really make sense unless you have fetch to crack on that.
Yeah, you just brainstorm lock yourself on it.
Yeah, and then there's other plays like what do you keep? I had a couple of hands with 4 lands, and then it's not really where the Delver player wants to be. Looks like they cited out Garrick on, or they
brought in
Garrick.
I don't know. I mean, Mike knows this better than we do, so fair, but
brought in the Deluge. I like that. Yeah. Garrick's a good card. Garrick can kill a creature and then flip for value to go and get other creatures. So I'd do that.
That's fair.
Sword's obvious. What else? What other tech? You just didn't take out the chalices, which makes sense. I don't think you take that out. I think you leave that shit in.
Oh yeah, I mean chalice is so good
for exactly the reason of like him ripping it. Ghost Quarter. That's an interesting choice. I would not have thought of.
Bring that in.
Yeah.
Well, so again, Mike knows this list. He knows there are no basics, so there's almost no reason not to bring in a 5th Wasteland.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Especially one that can, like...
Yeah, it's pretty standard for Grixis Delver to play no basics.
Yeah. Which is why Blood Moon is the sickest. Blood Moon rules.
And Aaron is Man of Steel, not even bringing in Ancient Grudge when he knows his opponent is playing Chalice.
I thought he did bring it in.
Was that part of his?
I think so. I think he put the sideboard back together, and that's why it's sitting over there.
Oh, I see. All right.
Yeah, that's...
Well,
that would have been a bullet call. But,
yeah, I was gonna say.
So, yeah. So I think this was cool. So we got to see Grixis Delver in a bunch of matches. It went 1 and 3.
Yeah,
which is not great.
Yeah, 1 and 3. So we totally shat on it as planned.
That was the goal.
Squash the bug.
Delver.
But it had its revenge. There's a reason why this is the best, air quotes, best deck in the format.
I don't think, did it go down 0-2 to any?
I'm trying to think.
Yeah, I don't think it.
I don't know.
It picked up a game against me on Painter. But, yeah, I mean, I think that Grixis Delver is, like, in any matter. The stuff it's doing is just good.
Yeah.
Generically. It's not attacking on, like, a weird axis that is only good against some stuff. It's just pretty straight up. And I think that's why they call it the Honda Civic.
Do you think this deck would fall apart if they banned Delver Secrets?
If they ban Delver of Secrets. So the 2 players just come in the room. So the question's been posed, would the deck fall apart if they banned Delver of Secrets?
Would it still exist, even?
People have been playing Grixis just like control, basically, or like Pyromancer. Yeah. Pyromancer's still a thing. Yeah. I've seen lists in the Moto League results of this. It's actually, I don't know if this is a known player or not, but his Magic Online name is Lejay. I want to say that's like
he's
a pro.
A big Doomsday
he's a Doomsday, yeah.
But he's been playing this Grixis Pyromancer, like, kind of control list that's very, like, it's Turbo Xerox, so it's, like, very low curve.
Yeah.
And the only threats are 4 Anglers and 4 Pyromancers. And then he's got Brainstorm, Ponder, Preordain, Probe, Therapy, all, like quad lasers for all those. And then, you know, a Jace. He's got an Engineered Explosives main. He might have some, like, he's got, like, 2 Fire Nice. It looks awesome. Yeah. I want to try it out, but I need a 4th Volk to play it. But yeah, I think the deck will still, or like the colors will still be there.
Yeah.
But Delver is an archetype unto itself. Yeah. So if you ban Delver, then they would actually probably bring back Zoo, maybe.
Yeah, Zoo, or like maybe.
Because that's what happened to Zoo is
run Delver, you know, without the Delvers. But Zoo.
Well, I think if you're trying to do that low to the ground. Kind of, Zoo strategy, which is really what Delver deck is. It's a Zoo deck that just got a major upgrade in the fact that their best creature is in blue. Yeah. So you get the best other cards, too.
Yeah, true.
I hope they don't ban Delver because I think it's an interesting card. I like that you have to build to it, right? You can't just like jam it. It's not like I think True Name where it's just sort of statically.
Yeah, True Name is dumb. We can all agree on that. I hate the design of it, and even like Deathrite, I like the design of it. And I said this earlier, but I think it's like fun to play with and fun to play against.
Yeah,
and it enables all sorts of other like non-Delver decks to exist. Right. But the question is like, is it bad that like if you look at the latest like the online meta on MTG Goldfish and it's like there's like 44 results for Grixis Delver and then the next highest has like 11 or 12 or something like that.
Yeah.
Is that? But I mean, is that even bad? Like I don't know. I'm not sure.
I mean, there's definitely some like it's a cool card just because it makes for some really cagey plays. Mm-hmm. Like you have to play around the effects. You get the effects. I like it because it keeps graveyard shenanigans under control, but it's not a universally popular opinion.
Yeah. Well, my issue with it is more that it's propping up like extra greedy mana bases out of like check pile, which even though check pile's on like the downswing, it's like
and like it's like fixing and ramping, you know what I mean? Like it's not like like because like duels in Legacy, like you're totally fixed if you have duels and fetches, but like ramping and also saying no to Blood Moon and stuff like that is and Wasteland is kind of
and it's just to actually like identify what it is doing in the metagame is that it is a black Birds of Paradise. Which is like black is definitely like the second best color. And they've never had a ramp. Ramp permanent like that.
Yeah, it's definitely messing with the color pie in that respect. Yeah. But all right, cool guys. Thanks for tuning in. Tune in next time.